All right, men's pre-owned coats and jackets. We're gonna go to solds. We're doing over 100. We're gonna go for, let's go for under 40% sell-through again. All right. Harley Davidson, Levi's, Moncler, Pendleton, Averex. Averex jackets. They're pretty uncommon. They're pretty common, honestly. That is a lot of jackets above $100. That's not very many solds, but that is still 582 sold. So we're gonna find out what that is. All right. It's a brand. Averex. I think there's some leather jackets in here I've heard about before. All right. Leather jacket, leather jacket. All right, there you go. Honestly, that is a pretty good factor right there. You got a bunch down here with like 10, 15, 20, but that's 415. You go for that one. Don't worry about anything else. At least not for now. There could be stuff in that cotton or honestly linen or whatever wool. So there could be stuff down here. But first I'll go for the leather. Let's see. That's 413 solds. And we're going to drop off the solds and completeds, and that is going to shoot up to like 8,000 or something like that. Let's see that go. All right, 3,000. So that actually, leather took off a lot of search results. Let's see, 400 to 3,000. It's like, what is that? That's like 10. That's like 15% sell through. Let's go back to solds. All right. We're gonna go in here and find anything else that stacks up as far as like, oh, that one sells and the rest of those don't. Brown. That is a great one right there. All right, the color brown on leather jackets sells pretty good. That's 243 solds. We're gonna take off sold listings. That's 1,200. What is that? That's, yep, still about 1 in 6. All right, still working on it. Honestly, it's probably the embroideries. We might have to add a keyword. I don't want to though. Trying to avoid it for now. All right, full zip, all seasons, lightweight, collared. Let's go for size. All right, large and extra large are usually going to be the sizes for jackets. Let's try large and extra large. All right, that's actually 1 in 3 now. We're at 33% sell through. That's doing better. All right, I think I saw some vests in there. We might have to get rid of vests. All right, style. Yep, bomber jacket. There you go. Oh, that was on the listed. I have to get rid of that. Let's get rid of bomber jacket. And get back to solds. We'll try that again. You want to try and think about doing this research as, okay, there's money there. There's just money there within that category. And you want to try and chip away at all of the details and all the different factors until you end up with something pretty specific that like, oh, it needs to be in the size medium before it's like considered good. But that will still be an item that is a bolo. So it may be super specific. You may find the exact same thing that you're looking for, but just in the wrong size, and it just won't be what you need it to be. All right, style. Let's go to bomber jacket. All right, it should cut off a bunch. It was like 200 something just before, but we are down to 74 left. 195. That is, we're sitting at about 40% sell through. Not great, not bad. All right, let's put a price cap on this. Let's try $250. All right, 85 listed. 47 sold. That is above, we're above 50% now. All right. All right. A2 leather. All right, let's throw a keyword in there. A2. All right, that's 31 results or listeds, or 31 solds and 49 listed. All right, we're getting closer and closer to 100%. All right, what other factor can we add on to this search to get us a little bit closer to 100% sell-through? Pattern. Solid, stress, let's see. Features. I want to see, is embroidered on here? I've seen that for a while. Where's embroidered? Accents. Maybe under accents. Embroidered. It's only one actually. Handmade type. Does have to be zip. Honestly, all of these are going to be zip jackets because they're leather bomber jackets. But just adding on the specific, item specific, for all of it, everything that the item is, will drive up the sell through just because you just listed it properly. All right. 24 solds, 38 listed. We still are getting a little bit higher above 50% sell through. Let's go ahead and let's lower the price cap. Let's say 175. All right, that is 10 solds. Try one more time. 15 listeds. That puts us at 66%. All right. We're at a 66% sell-through rate for the Averex Type 2A leather flight jacket from 100 to 175. There are people getting way more money for this. Let's take the price cap off and see what that does for our numbers. That's 34 solds and 79 listeds. That takes us back down below 50%. That tells me people are trying to oversell this a little bit. Like stuff like this, stuff at the $359, so $349. That's probably asking a little bit too much. They're probably leaning a little bit too hard on the embroideries and stuff like that. So it's just going to sit there. But just drop the price a little bit, and you should be able to get this sold. There's probably not going to be many listed at all beneath $100, but let's go ahead and put $60, and we'll put back the price cap at 175. All right, that is 16 listed. And 14 sold. That is almost 100%. All right, I'm gonna have to call it that. You have to drop the price out of the bottom of it. Let's see. Let's raise that to 75. See if we get something worth money. Almost there. 13 sold, 16 listed. I am calling that good to go. So Avarex, military bomber jackets. Uh, Honestly, the style is pretty common. The government makes a lot of stuff from a lot of different brands. They just order it. So you might get the same jacket from like 3 or 4 different companies. But Avarex made bomber jackets, and they're pretty good. Um, don't pass them up.